and he talks about how he needs to have specific game plans against, Hungrybox. Of course, these are two different players from S2J and Hungrybox, so we'll see how these two folk approach the matchup. But in any case, I'm assuming we'll see some similar themes.
Doesn't end up going, yeah, no, absolutely. It doesn't end up going for the rest there, but manages to close it out anyway with a clean wall of pain. But so far, Amida looking quite confident, and Goosekhan already kind of ripping out the grabs a little bit, so I'm sure Amida's going to be watching for crouch if they can.
Absolutely. Oh, okay, maybe a miscue.
Yeah,
because I believe Puffkinger's crouch under that as well. Amida going for the spot dodge there. Probably not necessary at that spacing, but, in any case, anything Amida finds at this point is kind of just gravy.
Yeah, so far, maybe it's just a bit of a warm-up, but I've seen Goosekhan go for a lot of options that I really wouldn't recommend versus Puff. Like, he spammed grab, I think, 3 separate times. He's gone for dash attack, and it's not that you can't grab in this matchup. It's very important that you do grab, but you can't just run and grab every single time.
Sure.
Yeah, just eventually it's going to get shut down. Should be a grab here, actually.
Yep, nice follow. Basically covers 2 out of the 3 techs there. Dare on shield pretty interesting too. I think again the trademark players that you obviously think of in these situations is HBox, and it seems like he would pretty much always go for a grab in those situations. But Amida picking up the stock, maybe? No.
Yeah, it does manage to do the little dare edge guard, which I also really like. That's something that we've seen HBox kind of implement more, and it's just a useful move. It kind of reminds me of the kind of Peach down air in a way, at least in that situation.
Sure. Oh my gosh, the threat ranges right now.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think I like the decision for Amida to try to go for Nairs in that position, just because Falcon's at such a high percent, and Nair's kind of a safe move. But it works. Ooh, this could be big.
The reads, let's go. Wow, yeah, so I really do like, because Amida's expending a lot of jumps into aerials, but he's kind of winning all of these air-to-air battles against Goosekhan right now. There's really not a huge threat in terms of, the priority of the hitboxes that Goosekhan's been putting out so far.
Ooh, that beautiful edge cancel. No, you're absolutely right, and I think one of the problems is that, Goosekhan is not mixing up the way he's kind of approaching against Puff. I think he could be a bit more hot and cold, and yeah, utilizing things like Stomp a bit more. It's kind of just a lot of space nairs, space back airs, which I feel like that's sort of what Puff wants, right? Just to kind of...
Sure. Oh, speaking of good spacing, though, that was really great by Goosekhan. Not quite able to find the kill just yet, but one more will do it.
Can he hit that? Ooh, again, the dash attack and the grabs, I just... The grab itself and the standing grab, not that bad of an idea, but I think the dash attack, really is not a good idea in the match pretty much ever.
Sure. Yeah, and this is good from Goosekhan, exactly what he wants to be doing, kind of just stay underneath the Puff, go for the up airs. He's going to find the kill eventually, unless Amida goes to sleep and picks it up himself for the first game.
Yeah, that was very dominant from Amida, but it was one of those games where I felt Amida was playing well, but Goosekhan seemed very unfamiliar with the matchup, I guess is the way to put it.
Sure, yeah. So I think one of the things that I was noticing, and again, when it comes to kind of the Falcon Puff matchups, it really is kind of thinking about Hungrybox versus any combination of S2J, Wizrobe, none. At least in recent times. One of the trends that I've noticed from S2J specifically, and I think I talked about this last week at Xanadu. Oh, let's check out the punish first. But it would be kind of how they approach neutral, and what I've been seeing out of Goosekhan right now is kind of Nair instant up air, maybe just Nair dash back. A big trend that I was catching from S2J back at Golint Melee Open was Nair dash back and then a stomp drifted in so that it catches a Puff trying to basically overshoot any type of aerial to punish the Falcon's Nair whiff.
Interesting, yeah. So the kind of the drifted back stomp. That's what you said, right? A Nair back, drifting the stomp to cover. Definitely an interesting option. I think what that touches on really is just also how big of the kind of aerial drift plays a role in this matchup. It's something kind of is applicable to every character, but these two characters are kind of the best to do it. They just move in the air so fluidly. Look at that. What are you doing?
insane. He didn't even. Okay.
So I'm pretty sure you can Omsa Tech that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I don't think that's super optimal, right? But it worked out for him.
The best thing you can do against Missed Rest as Falcon at a like mid to high percent is a charge forward smash. I'm pretty sure. Weirdly enough, Falcon Punch is just like slightly weaker. I might not be getting the exact specifics right, but I know that charge forward smash is better than Falcon Punch for some reason.
And it would send them up too, right? There's not really a tech option from there.
Yeah, I know that I've Omsa teched many Falcon Punches as Jigs, and I've always had people go, what the fuck? And it's like, no, dude, that works. So
as we speak, though, Goosekhan kind of figuring out how he wants to approach this neutral, and it's working out for him pretty decently so far.
I love that Tomahawk too. Yeah, no, I noticed that kind of like right from the start, just mixing up a couple of the options, getting sort of more used to the way that Amida was playing. And this is why it's so useful to play. Oh, catches the jump though. That should be it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so useful to like look at a best of 3 or best of 5 because like one game does not tell the full story at all. There's so much to adapt to in a set, and we're kind of seeing that now.
Yeah, liberal use of the up airs out of Goosekhan this game, I think, is a huge difference between Game 2 and what we saw out of Game 1. But basically, like, one grab, I think, will do it at this point.
I really just don't like these dash attacks. I feel like dash attack generally, good stuff to Goosekhan there, though, to turn it around. They're going to 2-stock after getting 3-stock.
Yeah.
But I just dash attack in general is something you can like ASDI down for a really long time. I know that like Puff is not going to be in the air as often, but even when it connects, like we saw it there, it just kind of center across the stage, like it.
Sure.
It's like a bad cheek habit or something, you know.
I'm waiting to see that knee. It was very like Silent Spectre-esque, the way that he just kind of. It was like a double jump drift back knee, and then finds the stock for it. Crazy stuff from Goosekhan, and he's taking it to Game 3.
Yeah, I kind of wonder where we'll see them go stage-wise, like maybe Battlefield or Fountain again. Or no, they didn't start at Fountain, but something more neutral, which makes sense.
Yeah, if dying off the top to Falcon Punch off of a missed rest is Amida's problem, we might not see that as much here. But here's the first missed rest, and there's the F smash you're talking about.
Yeah, in that sense, it's not going to kill, but just because it was a bit low. But I like the, like, you know, you're not positive it's not going to kill. So,
sure.
And like maybe the
platform
goes
take the 50-50, and then maybe you get a kill, maybe you don't. I guess the other option in that scenario would be maybe like stomp into like a tech chase type deal.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's what you go for. I like the decision to sort of wait there in the air. Goosekhan trying to get Amida to commit to something. And, like, again, I think Goosekhan has adapted a lot. Like, it looked like maybe it's just one of those things where you're so used to playing other characters and Puffs requires you to play differently. So you have to take some time to change gears, you know, like get into Puff mode.
Oh, and just knee from ledge, and he's going to get the stock for it. Okay. Goosekhan up 2.
Yeah, no, a huge change-up in some of the options that Goosekhan has been going for, and kind of more confidence in neutral, I'd say, as well. I think one thing I would like to see from Amida, though, is that Goosekhan has done many
he's going to die from that!
Yeah, that's crazy. Goosekhan has done many grabs that are unsafe, and I've said this before on stream that, like, it's harder than you would think to always react to that missed grab. But if you feel like they're like going for it too much, you want to like mentally be preparing for it, which makes it easier to react to. And like he should be hitting at least a couple, I'd say.
Yeah, and I think the big pattern to that point is Goosekhan's kind of going for those grabs specifically off of knockdown on Puff. Whenever he gets Puff into a tech scenario, he's always going for the grab. And it looks like Amida's ready for it most of the time because she just wakes up crouch to miss it. But there's not really much of a follow-up or a punish to go after that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's like, it looks like Amida's like, okay, he's going to do this and I'm going to do that. But then, you know, yeah, so that is just barely not going to do it. Again, it's kind of in this like 40 to 50%. But once again, kind of goes for a good solid punish. And, you know, it's Puff. You can kind of get away with it. It's not like she can rest anymore.
Yeah, super scary position at this point because, I mean, Goosekhan's pretty happy to trade aerials if he can get one.
No, absolutely. Goes for kind of a bit of a gimmicky. Yeah. Up tilt.
This is the part that scares me, because game 1 I mentioned how Amida was just kind of expending a lot of jumps to throw out hitboxes, but at this point you really kind of are scared to do that if Goosekhan just trades with a back air or something like that.
This is close. No, exactly right. And never, just as they say that, it gets shut down. But really good stuff to both players. I think Amida started to kind of gain a bit of control there, slow it down, put Goosekhan in spots that are kind of harder to get out of. But, the adaptation just came a little bit too late.
Sure. He'll have another chance in the loser's bracket, however. But for the time being, Goosekhan will move on to play Ben. And I believe for our next set, we're going to have Gatsu making a return.
Yeah. Sheik versus Falcon. A matchup I find this tournament series in particular highlights a lot more. We have a lot of Sheiks at Xanadu's.
Yeah, that's the MDVA Classic, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I was saying this, I recently commentated the crew battles for the Collegiate Smash League this past weekend. And Sheik is just a cool character. I like Sheik.